So I've just finally finished the clay work for this S15 and I'm looking forward to getting it into glass. So we've sanded down this panel here. We put the sander to it and a grinder as well as a scraper. Got rid of all the high spots. Now we're going to put the gel coat on. That's how the new panel now fits back on after all the clay has been removed. So what we're left with is a very rough panel. This particular customer decided that he wants carbon fibre on the inside of this panel, and we've done that on this other side now. You can see how dark it's gone because of the carbon fibre underneath. And the reason why he wanted carbon, we put 3 layers of carbon in here, is because it's incredibly strong. Anyone can kick this now and it don't matter. The side's good. Very strong. And can even sit up on this if I get this camera just right. You can see. Watch me sit on it. See? Up really strong. And it only costs about $300 a side to do that carbon. Did it in a mono weave. You run 3 layers and you run one running this way, one running down, and then one running in a diagonal. It makes it very strong. It's the kind of carbon fibre they use for yachts, and masks, and trimarans, joining them together. After the bog goes on and gets sanded down with 80 grit, then go around the car, just circle these little problem areas that need a bit more fill up, and then we sand everything down again with 80 grit. Now we've come to the point where we are sanding the primer. Because I put this on by brush, I start with 240 grit and then work my way through 400, and then the painter will, whoever's going to paint it, will run it over it with at least 600, maybe even 800. But the objective here is because I've got brush marks from my brush, and you can kind of see it right there. What we want to do is get it nice and smooth and shiny like that. You can see that shine on that. That's what we want to do. So she's all nice and smooth, ready for the painter to do his part of the job. So we're not bothering to use a guide coat on this. Okay, now we have to stretch the bumper out to fit our new guards. So we simply cut that bumper down, set it into place. Now we can actually glass it in from the other side, but in order to provide some kind of a support, we're actually going to use a whole lot of tape across this gap. We'll get in from the other side, we'll put a couple of layers of glass in there, let that set, take the whole thing off the car, put probably another 3 layers, maybe even 4 layers on top of that, and it'll be as solid as anything. And put it back on the car before it sets. It'll be the same thing on this side. So when stretching a bumper, it's always the best thing here to do when stretching a bumper is to cut it, set it up down the side where it's supposed to go, use packaging tape on this side, then put your fiberglass mat in from the inside, and this packaging tape will actually help it stick and stay in place while you wet it out with the resin. And as you can see on the side, it was very successful. It just needs further layers put on from the inside. Okay, so once it's set, you can pull all that tape off, like we will over here. Better to pull it off sooner rather than later. So I've waited about half an hour, now I'm pulling it off. When trying to match up the back bumper with the rear quarters, it's best to put a bit of tape in this join here, bog the whole thing right the way through, set up your laser level so you can remember where this line is, then you bog it all, and then before the bog goes hard, put your craft knife down through following that laser line that you've set up, and cut it. Each time you do some bogging over this area, you just keep cutting. And you can see I've cut it across here too. And then you sand all this as one piece, and then once you're happy with how this is joining into that, then you take the back bumper off, and then you just clean up around all these edges both sides and just round them off a bit, clean them up, make sure they all look nice. So that's the best way when you're coming up to 2 panels. They're joining together. Same thing between if you were going to do a rear guard, or front guard, and wherever the side skirts match up, or wherever it matches up with the front bumper, it's the same principle. You do exactly the same thing. It's the only way to get that shape exactly right. So how do you get the rear bumper fitting exactly onto there perfectly? The way you do it is you clean up all of this first, make sure it's a nice straight line, sand it, round off that edge, and then what we do is we put some sticky tape on there, packaging tape, cover all of this area in packaging tape, and then bolt that back bumper onto it, and you'll be left with a little bit of a gap between this and the back bumper. You grab your NuTech, push it in there with your thumb, push it in there real well, and you end up with something like this, which now just needs a sand up, and once it's sanded up and smooth, then we can round off these edges and she'll fit perfectly back onto this rear quarter. That's how it's done. So now we can pull all this off. This just stopped the NuTech from sticking to this side, because you didn't want it to stick to this side, you only wanted it to stick to the other side. We've got nitrous oxide right there, good old NOS, tube frame all the way through. $1,000 horse, this baby. It's all been deloomed.
See it finished, this car.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it painted.
Yeah, my ramps are on the back of your car, bro. Thank you, Russell.
Sweet as, man.
Nice meeting you, Russ. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Sweet.
Awesome. If I get stuck with my wing, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow anyway.
Yep, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Up in Auckland. Sweet. Do you mind if we just wash our hands?
Yeah, go for it. Round by in the rumpus room there.
Oh, yeah, sweet. That's come.
All good.
You don't want to wash your hands. You're going to itch, man.
That's alright.
Okay. Welke car die you go for?
I'm not bigger.
That's the one they
His 180's nice. Needs a bit of work now, eh? But you know, if you bring it all over here, I'll show you what to do. Yeah. Because otherwise I'm going to charge you too much. Yeah. I know you haven't got the money.